Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, folks, let's get you updated with these ski resort opening dates. Check it out. You know, remember back when Brian had all that snow last month there and they went ahead on and opened early? Yeah, they're seeing some opening dates already. Brighton is open now. Solitude is open. But check this out. Alta, how about Deer Valley? How about Sundance? How about Park City? How about Snow Basin, Woodward? All of these locations trying to open this weekend. And guess what? I think it's going to be a great weekend, at least to get some snow falling out there. And it's going to be some great skiing conditions for those folks. Check it out. We're tracking a first significant winter storm for our northern mountains here as we make our way through this upcoming weekend. So if you have travel plans up towards the mountains, prepare now for some significant delays as looking at a lot of snow heading towards the mountains across the north. Here's the setup right now. High pressure, cold conditions this morning with those mostly clear skies. Watch out for a little patchy freezing fog in some of our valleys. Here's the beginnings of our storm system. The atmospheric river starting to send some of that moisture into the northern half of the country. Now we're going to have some clouds increasing later today, but we should stay dry. I did want to briefly mention the snow levels here for you because, yeah, they're down towards the valley floors. And they're going to stay that way at least into Friday morning, which means as we get some moisture moving in late tonight, heading into early Friday morning, I think anything that falls will be in the form of snow, which means we could have some light valley snow accumulations before those snow levels rise above the valley floors up towards the upper benches. But yeah, that means for the mountains, this is an all snow event as it moves on through the area. And even for the benches and higher, I think you're going to still have that chance of seeing some decent snow. So high pressure, quiet this morning, some of that patchy fog. The clouds will increase by late this afternoon, but any snow should stay up to our north and west up towards Idaho Falls. But tonight, as we get closer to bedtime, let's say midnight and beyond, I think that's when we're going to have snow falling up towards Cache Valley, down the I-15 corridor into the Salt Lake Valley, potentially down as far south as Utah County. So, again, those snow levels of the valley floors overnight into Friday morning, which means this precipitation should primarily be in the form of snow as it's falling, which means as you wake up Friday morning, 7 a.m., the morning commute, yeah, we could have some issues up and down the I-15 corridor here with that potential of snow falling. And again, we could have some light accumulations. Now, as I mentioned, as we go throughout the day Friday, those snow levels rise above the valley floor. So we'll switch over to a valley rain event, but a heavy mountain snow event as that next wave of precipitation, heavier precipitation moves in. So by Friday evening, it's going to be raining to beat the bands in the valley floors, but it's going to be snowing to beat the bands as you get up towards the higher elevations there. And that will continue off and on throughout your Friday night into Saturday morning, valley rain, mountain snow, and we can see some off and on waves continuing into your Saturday evening and maybe as long as Sunday morning as well. So very active conditions. You add up all that precipitation total, look at the potential liquid amounts of precipitation. We're talking the potential of a ½ inch to an inch, likely along the I-15 corridor with some higher amounts in some of our higher mountains. But again, remember, that's an all snow event for the mountains. So guess what? That means a lot of snow piling up there. We're talking about 1 to 2 feet likely for the northern mountains, 12 to 18 inches for the central mountains. And even as I mentioned for the benches, I think you could see anywhere from 3, 4, 5 inches as you get up towards the Wasatch back, potentially 5 to 8 inches of snow. And again, even along the Wasatch front, I do think we'll finally pick up our measurable snow event here in Salt Lake City, as I think we'll get at least a trace to 2 inches, especially by tomorrow morning. Winter storm watches in effect for the northern mountains and the western Uintas for all of that snow potential. That means, yes, this is a strong storm, which means we could have some significant travel impacts if you're traveling through those mountain passes and routes as we go throughout the weekend. So please plan accordingly. St. George, temperatures in the 50s through the weekend. A few extra clouds Friday into Saturday. Otherwise, 60s return next week. The Wasatch Front is cold and dry today, but get ready. Some snow for your Friday morning, and then some valley rain and mountain snow, heavy snow, for the weekend. Matt?